No, but that's also, I mean, I have been in that situation where I've had things that I didn't want to come out. I mean, you know, I lived a pretty dicey life. I was an alcoholic. Nobody in my life knew it except for Pat. Nobody in my life knew it. I've lived that life before. And when you're in it, you think that this is going to destroy you. Stu, you were with me the day I thought I was destroying my career.
Yeah.
And I came out with the truth. And I said, yep, that's who I am.
But, I mean, that's, to Pat's point, that is part of probably what has helped your career and has made you a unique personality on the air. I mean, most people don't do that.
Yeah, but that's what we have to start convincing people, that the truth will set you free. I mean, the day, and you know it, Stu, I looked at you and I said, write this day down. This is the day that I ended my career. Right? You remember that? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's what happened to me in, 1995 or 6 or 8 or whenever it was. I thought I was ending my career. But instead, the opposite is true. People are looking for, first of all, why do you think it's going to end your career when you have Elliot Spitzer and Weiner both running?
And leading at the moment, at least. We've got this picture with you and hookers and one dead hooker and you blood splattered with the knife in your hand. All right, so I'll just run for mayor of New York. It doesn't seem to matter to anybody anymore. Yeah, I don't think there's any chance Elliot Spitzer loses in his race for city comptroller. I mean, I think there is a chance Weiner, because he's just so over-the-top crazy, and these things keep coming out. We haven't seen a poll since this last scandal, obviously. I'm sure in the next day or two we will, and you'll have a better idea.
You know what kills me is we are trusting New York is. We're not. New York is considering trusting their money to a guy who was taking money and giving it to hookers. A guy who is so deceitful all the way around. And you're talking about trusting him with your cash. It's really insane.
Yeah, I mean, he went about this, I think, in a smarter way than Weiner, in that he went for a low-profile job that no one really understands and that no one knows any of his competition. Where Weiner, I mean, the mayor of New York is, I mean, it's one of the most important jobs in America. I mean, it really is. It's the biggest city in America. It's one of the biggest, I mean, you put it on a scale of economies worldwide, it's one of the biggest economies for countries. So this guy, imagine Anthony Weiner. We talked about this yesterday when you were out. It's like, imagine this guy with the stuff that he does. Up to now, at least a minimum of 14 months after he got kicked out of Congress, was still having these sex chats. Was having these sex chats during the time his redemptive article in People magazine came out. While it was happening, they started a week before the article came out. The guy that's that psychotic. Imagine him having the power of Michael Bloomberg in this city. I mean, look what Bloomberg's done with it. Imagine if Anthony Weiner gets that power, what he will do. I mean, hide your daughters. God only knows what will happen in this city if this guy gets control of it.
And speaking of daughters, let me quickly go to why character matters and how we are not paying attention at all because of political parties or spin. The story out of Texas with the 13 illegals
who raped a 13-year-old girl,
who gang raped for hours a 13-year-old girl. You know, the Associated Press doesn't even include the fact that they're illegals. This story is getting no traction. This is your 13-year-old daughter gang raped by a group of men. Only 2 have been arrested. We don't know anything else about anybody. Nobody. We could find these guys and put them behind bars. But because of political correctness, because it hurts the agenda of going after an illegal alien, these guys are walking around with no fears. No fears. And it's a 13-year-old girl that's just been raped. My gosh, what is wrong with us? Now imagine a guy like Anthony Weiner, who has everything to hide and doesn't really care about anything, doing all kinds of things. I mean, these are the things that we know about. Do you think he's willing to put up with? Do you think he's willing to turn a blind eye towards? This guy, there's no honor. No honor. No integrity.
No, we talked about this yesterday, that if New York elects this guy, knowing what they know about him and seeing the kind of guy he is, and, forget about the relationship between he and his wife. What about his honesty? I mean, over and over and over, you've seen him lie and scam and deceive everybody, and you've seen how good he is at it. So then you're going to trust that guy to run the city, the biggest city in the country, one of the largest in the world? If you go that direction, I think it's over for New York. I think that shows what a desperate situation we're in as a people.
I believe the Lord will have to apologize to Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
He's going to have to start apologizing to Sodom and Gomorrah. He's like, you know what? Those are my younger days. I had a low tolerance back then. Sorry. Apologize.